This is a relatively short song, so I want to make sure I get my intro in there before it ends. How's it going, everyone? My name's TechSupportSparky, and tonight we're doing some Animal Crossing corruptions for the GameCube. We'll get started in a few minutes here. I just gotta get everything ready on the back end. Yeah. We're using, how to describe this, a newer version of the roll-time corruptor, and ideally that wouldn't have any changes to the Windows Glitch Harvester, the software that we use for GameCube corruptions, but that may not be necessarily true, so we might notice some quirks here and there that we run into, but for the most part this should be one of our generic GameCube corruption streams. So sit tight and we'll get started in a few minutes. I guess Oblivion music isn't really fitting. Now that I swapped to it, I didn't actually consider that. Oh, you know what we should have done? Actually, can I do that in the background? No, it would take away from it. I should have done one of those chiptune songs that I was starting to like, the tracker software guy. I forget his name. But anyways, let's get started here. I do want to note, well, a piece of software that I wish I was using, but I didn't set up any of the panels for it, I didn't get anything ready per the stream for it, would be the Windows Volume Limiter, which is a software that we recently looked at with our corruption streams previously. It was for Sunset Riders. But we won't be using that for this stream, although I'd like to. I think I'll set that up in the future, but tonight I don't have too much time to set up the stream, because I'm kind of doing a late night one before I go to sleep. So, that's the deal with that. Let me transition scenes here. We're doing dolphin corruptions. How's it going? Something that's new that you might be able to see right away if you're regular over here. I have green screen, which is nice. I'm now actually cutouts, which I think looks a little bit nicer, a little bit more clean, a little bit more crisp, if you will. You can actually see the windows that I'm clicking on behind me. I believe I'm still capturing my mouse, right? So if you see me click on blast target, that's still going on in the background despite me being here. And it's not this sort of strange box that I have to make very small in order to fit everywhere, so I kind of like it better. I can still point at stuff that goes on the screen. I'm gonna stick with it. It's not like I'm gonna get rid of it or anything like that. Anyway, Animal Crossing. That's what we're doing today. We play a lot of Animal Crossing music, but we don't corrupt it very often. We've only corrupted, I believe, the DS version once, and this GameCube version 2 times in the past. First one kind of unsuccessful, second time more successful, but we may see similar results this time around from our second attempt. Let me bring the music, I guess, to a pause, because we're going to be playing this. I like background music because a lot of the times we're just going to be playing the same song over and over again with the corruption, but unfortunately you still want to hear it, so it's a weird dissonance that you get between the two. So I'll leave this kind of low. Maybe we should just get like a raining soundscape. That would be kind of nice. Anyway, so let's get the corruption playing. Nintendo. And hopefully the size is alright. It's been a while since I've done GameCube corruptions in general, so most of these parameters are a little bit different. If you are a regular, you will notice that up here where the general parameters are, that's where the limit is, there's a lot of different things that are going on there. The tickers, the little white lines in between each like intensity slider or starting address, those have been adjusted in a recent update. We're still currently running 0.97, which I believe is the exact same version number that we were previously running on, and we still have the same color scheme as before. However, I think before maybe we were in alpha and now we're in beta. This is 0.97b, so that could be the difference, possibly. So that's why some of the things are a little bit different. Also, the blast range is just upped all the way by default, which I'm gonna not touch, because before I didn't think you actually had to set it, in which case, like, if I wanted to set the blast range, I could use that if I wanted to. By default, it's still unset and it's set to maximum, so if that's the intended purpose, I'm gonna leave it like that. Normally, however, we do leave this at about 100 value, so we'll see if we notice any difference. Oh, that scared me. If we notice any difference between using a max blast range or one set to 100, I don't think there would be much of a difference, because the toggle isn't actually set on it. Anywho, I am gonna pause Oblivion, and let's start at just the very first place to corrupt, the title screen. Now I do have a save state already set, however let's make, well, the first save state's right here. So you see the character walking off the screen, you see him by the train station, and that's probably a good first place to start. You see their face, and they're in a walking animation, so we might be able to get a good couple of different corruptions out of that. Starting off, I'm going to clear out my history. So I did some preliminary testing. That's why we see a bunch of different numbers here in the stash history. These are just examples of corruptions that I've sent via blast layer to these save states, to one save state. And that's just my stockpile that I've made, but I'm going to clear that out. Or select the one that I use a picture for in Filthy Casuals. That works too. This is the one that I decided to take a picture of and then use it when I was going live. I like the music a lot. The music actually sounds great. And some of the shaping on the title screen is nice. What I'd like to actually do is keep this music if I can. So, while you get to listen to that wonderful sound, let me go and open this entry within our blast editor. So we'll do that here. And the one that's above me is the blast editor. Now this looks a little bit different than the real-time corruptor version. This one I would say is a little more minimal, but it gets the job done. So the difference on this one, I'm so used to wearing one headphone, I want to hear myself, so I can't wear the headphone. But anyways, the difference on this one is it's just every line tells you only the source address and the parameter value that you're sending, and not much other information. Look how fast he's run. He's sprinting with that really tiny face. Every entry is to the far left, you can see it has a little X next to it. That just means it's enabled. If I want to disable one of these by double-clicking on it and hitting corrupt and execute, now that one is disabled. You might not be able to notice any changes though. Any changes though on screen, because we have only 97 entries indicated up here at the top right. So instead we can just disable like 50% of them, disable a much larger number. Do that again. And in this case, while all the screen corruptions are gone, title screen's back to normal, character's okay, world's alright, the music persists. So that's actually something that we want to keep. So we can remove the ones we disabled, because all those were unnecessary to the one corruption that we wanted to keep. And we'll do that again. Is the music still there? It is. I'm waiting for that piano tone. Music's not there. There we go. And we're slowly breaking down the amount of entries that we have on our blast layer, or the amount of memory writes that we're sending to the ROM itself. Right now we're down to 12, now we're down to 6. And ideally we'll get it down to 1 or 2 entries. In this case it will likely just be 1. So far 3, 2, and 1. So now, a little bit of information. At the source address 9611858, some random place in memory. If you set the value 458 in hexadecimal, you get this weird sound. You get this weird kind of music adjustment. We can send that to our stash. Also, we're missing a button here. There used to be 3. Corrupt and execute. Send a stash. And something about injecting, I think? Inject selected, I think was the option that used to be here, now it's gone. Anyway. So we send that to our stash. It's now the most recent entry within our stash. We can throw it on our stockpile and call it something like Octava. Now it's in the stockpile. If we click on it, it will load that same corruption over and over and over again. And if I were to save this stockpile and give it to someone else, they could play this again as well. Now, if you look at this in the blast editor again, Remember, we send the value 458 to memory, indicated on the right side there. What if we want to send a different value to memory and see if we can change how the song sounds? Maybe we can change the octaves, maybe you can mess with the instruments a bit, I'm not sure. But we're going to re-roll the value that's sent to memory and listen to the results. That one sounded the same. Can't see my hand, I gotta lower my camera down a bit. Can I do that now? I think it cuts off my head if I try. Yeah, never mind. This one has no music. I want a deeper sound if I can get it. Now it sounds like mostly it's either the song will be there or it's going to be this high-pitched version. I'm not hearing much in between. Just once again, no sound. No sound, or high pitch. High pitch. So that's kind of all we're getting out of it. Which occasionally happens. You expect one thing to happen and something totally different happens. Oh well. Anyways, we can clear out a history now. And we could choose to keep corrupting on the title screen. However, there's one problem with doing that. And let me return you back to the normal sounding game. Let's do it like this. Now, we've been using the Windows Glitch Harvester for a long time. I've been using this as my only corrupter for GameCube for a couple months. And it's because it's the only fantastic option that you can use for GameCube at the moment. Previously, you may have used Vine Corrupt or some other kind of programs just to write memory to GameCube games, but it used to be very difficult. The Windows Glitch Harvester made it very easy to corrupt GameCube games in the sense that it worked hand in hand with a Dolphin emulation modded version of Dolphin. And the developers of the Windows Glitch Harvester are also the developers of that Dolphin emulation, so they kind of went hand in hand. Now, there's a most recent installment, a very recent installment, saying that the real-time corruptor, the program that we use for our smaller corruptions, like our SNES, NES, stuff like that, they're releasing a newer version of the real-time corruptor that will... It keeps throwing me off. That will support GameCube corruptions. So we're going to be able to create GameCube corruptions on the real-time corruptor using save states. So while currently on the Windows Glitch Harvester, we are still using save states to attach our corruptions to the game. As soon as I choose to select a different save state, so say I hit start, and I want to corrupt KK Slider. So I make a new save state, and I hit browse, and I select that save state. Wait a minute. My stockpile entry disappeared, because you only have one save state associated with each stockpile, which can be a bummer, because then you could have like 10 to 15 different save states and stockpiles associated with the one game, and that becomes sort of a clusterfuck just to keep it all consolidated in one place. With the real-time corruptor, that will change things. Ideally, it will work like the already existing version of the real-time corruptor, where you can just create save states within the Windows Glitch Harvester, and it will jump between them via time jump states. I know I'm not explaining it too well, but it will be amazing, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the initial release. I think it will be released to the dev build server for the real-time corruptor, so developers can take a look at it and report bugs if they find any. And I plan on doing it on stream, however it may be very buggy, so we may run into a lot of that. I'm using my hands all the time, so I gotta keep the camera down. Sorry if it cuts off the top of my head. I should work out the zoom. So we'll be trying that out. When it comes out, it will be a very exciting installment because it's going to be a different way of handling these kind of corruptions. In fact, all the games that we've corrupted thus far, they have to be corrupted in different ways. The corruptions that come out of them could be totally different. We also use the vector engine for all of these corruptions, which it's the ideal one to use, but when it comes to real-time corruptor, we have a bunch of different engines we can use as well. Okay, enough complaining for me. Let's corrupt KK Slider, because I want to. I did notice during my preliminary that the corruptions themselves they're a little light, so let me up the intensity to like... I feel like 50,000 is too small, like it's been limited. How much is that? It's not 50,000, that's 500,000. I feel like we used to have larger values, but maybe I'm thinking in the wrong mindset. Maybe it's been too long. if I create a corruption... Yeah, here's the weird thing. So, in the past, I would create a corruption such as this, with like, say, a 39,000 intensity, which is gigantic. I would open that entry within the blast editor, and we would have a good 10,000 entries here. We only have 33 now, and I don't know why that is. On the bright side, I've noticed the corruptions are easy to create, but I'm wondering if we have some limitation to the amount that we had before? I don't know too much about it, and the differences that are with this beta version over the alpha version. I just don't know. I guess this is a good opportunity to test it out though. I want to switch up this blast range and bring it back to the original 100, see if that affects anything. Still looks like it's 33. Oh no, we're not even creating stash history entries with that. Yeah, the blast range has to be disabled for some odd reason. Also, KK Slider's gone. Why does it sound like he's in a well? Oh yes, the best KK Slider song. The deep bass song. Can I play along? That's some like really deep bass. Anyway. Oh, now he has a blinking problem too. He just got something in his eye. He has to just get that out a little bit. So you decided to get out and get your own place, huh? Well, welcome to the weirdest town on Earth. Oh, I might have done something bad. So I'm running a Minecraft server on an alternate laptop, and in order to... Well, I accidentally just brought down the server. So let me just real quick take a sec here. Hey, Baby Blue Ford, did you notice the server just got taken down? Temporarily down for maintenance. I accidentally hit a button and shut it down. Maintenance. Everything's on 1.14, so you're on Bedrock. Oh, you're on Bedrock. Gotcha. That's right, I forgot that you primarily use Bedrock version. Okay. I accidentally closed down the server, so I'm real quick starting that back up. Oh, that's problematic, because now that the server shut down, the IP probably changed. Oh, last minute problems. Okay. Yeah, I gotta update my IP. Shoot. To wait, how long do you plan on, or actually, well, it depends on until our plugins come back up. Hopefully you enjoyed the nice music in the background. While I try to figure this out. I just gotta real quick log into Cloudflare and update the IP, because I don't have a dynamic IP. Brooks, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. We're just getting started in a minute here. I run a server in the background on another laptop, and I accidentally shut down that laptop. So I gotta real quick restart it. But yeah, we're doing corruptions in just a moment here. Select all the cars on the CAPTCHA. I hate CAPTCHA. I'm the worst at it. I would absolutely be caught as a robot. Okay, logging in, updating IP. It is now... Oh no, it's still good to go. Cool. And gotta run the server real quick. But the Animal Crossing corruption should be pretty good. As I was talking about a little bit earlier, we have a new version of the Windows Glitch Harvester. It's now in beta. I don't know if I like all the new decisions that have been made, all the new properties to it. So I guess we'll see. I know 1.14 was supposed to fix some performance issues, but it caused more for me. I heard that, or at least, is it like just in the pre-stages where like they're trying to test it out? Because I've heard a lot of complaints about it thus far. That hasn't been doing too good overall. Also, let me just blast corruptions while we're waiting, just to get some more ideas, some more new ones. And this one is blinking like crazy. I had to turn chunk distance down to 2? That's like nothing! Shoot! You can't see it in front of you at all. That's a weird one. What's going on here? Oh, just cut out, kind of weird. My FPS got cut in half as well. I wonder if that was forced, like an FPS limit. Okay, server's up. From 12 to 10? Oh, I see, okay. I think it went down to 2 chunks, and I was like, you can't even see. What was your FPS before? Was it 60 FPS? So you've decided to get your own place in a dark room. Well, now, I don't actually know if the server's up because there's no one to check it, so I gotta log in real quick. No one's immediately joining, which is a bad sign to me because there's a lot of people on it usually. So ignore the background sound while I real quick try to see if I can log into it. So your FPS got down to, from 120 to 60, gotcha. Connected server, joining world. Why am I the only one on? Cool, okay, right, I guess we're good to go. Log out. Server, backup. Okay, not touching this laptop, just hiding the screen and no more touching it. Otherwise I'm gonna kick a bunch of people off again, which I feel bad about. No warning or anything. I'm usually pretty good at warning people too. That sucks that your FPS dropped and all that. 60 is at least manageable. I hope it doesn't get any worse or anything like that. I know I always try to lock my FPS at 60. Why is his legs going through the floor? That looks like a fanfiction that I don't want to see. Oh, KK slider. His face is gone. This feels like it would be like a really badly translated game. Like you might get this game out of another, I don't know, country or something like that, and that's what you see. Fancy looking Sparky, I'm doing well, sir. How are you doing? We got a green screen finally, which it has taken me so long to do that. It is terrible. But I'm glad to finally have one because it looks kind of nice. But I'm doing well, sir. How are you doing? I don't think I saw you stream earlier today, but I know I saw you stream a bit last night. And I don't know the game you were playing. It looked like an RPG. But it looked pretty awesome. I usually don't get to pop in and say hi, because if it's only gonna be like 2 minutes, I don't want to be like, alright, hi, bye. But it looked fun nonetheless. Got a little flickery KK slider. I'm loving the music too. The music corruptions have actually been pretty alright, you know? To a degree. Like, they haven't been screechy, at least. Welcome to the fun of chroma key. It will be all different tomorrow. Will it? I don't know. I've got pretty nice... Well, not nice. I don't have nice lighting. I have pretty, consistent lighting, because I never open my window, and I have, like, 2 lights that are always on me in my overhead. As long as I wear, like, non-green shirts, I think I should be okay. Hopefully. I also have a backup color key for all the extra like little sparkles that you might see all around the green screen, so I think the mixture of the two might help out. I might drop the color key if it starts becoming frustrating. But we'll see. I like this one. It's kind of like spooky. He's like in jail or something. Hidden behind a sheet. Okay, do we actually do gameplay or do we keep guessing, messing with KK Slider? I mean, I'm in favor of messing with KK Slider. Also, this text is like a riddle in itself. We can re-roll that one to mess with his mechanics a little bit, either less or more. In this case, it's less. It also looks like someone just dropped ink all over the the text there. Which for corruptions, you kinda did. You just dropped ink everywhere. He's just bobbing ahead with his music. But whenever he hits a wrong tone, he kind of flicks his head over. Is the server still on 1.13.2? It is, and it will stay on that for a little bit. We're trying to get the plugins all sorted out. The developers for those plugins did not have access to an early build, I don't believe, so they didn't get to test if their stuff breaks. Hopefully it just migrates straight over, but a couple of them might need to make tweaks. We're giving them a couple days in order for them to catch up. Looks great for sure. Hey, thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think it looks okay-ish. Nice work, I still suffer from sparklies. I mean, my name is Sparky, so I gotta get rid of all the other Sparkies. They're all posers. No, but I feel that pain. It seems like it's gonna be a lot of tweaking over time, and if I do have like extra light that comes out of the window, I know I'm pointing at it and you can't see it, that might be a problem. So we'll see. I know I'm gonna keep saying we'll see, but fingers crossed it won't be too bad. But I think your setup in general looks pretty good. What I was doing with this one is, you can see I'm like around the software window, I can touch the edges of the box. I'm a mime. No. And I couldn't have any gray effect on the outside of this, otherwise it was obvious that there was a box surrounding me. So I had to make sure the chroma key looked just good enough that would cut me out just right. What you did instead was, I think you have a box around you, same for like Sky and other people that have boxes around their face. I can't think of any other names right now. But people have boxes or actual dedicated panels. That looks great. You can actually sort of get rid of some of the sparklies, or you can leave them in and they're not as noticeable. Especially if you give a little bit of a green tint to that background, that'd be nice. But yeah, server's still on 1.13, baby blue for it, and it may stay, I mean, some people are saying the developers can take up to a month. I don't think it's gonna take that long. If it does take that long, we're just gonna drop the plugins for that time. What we need is multiverse worlds, and I mean multiverse portals in that sense. I think that's all we need, really. Because we gotta get from the lobby area to the world, and that's it. Essentials would be nice so we can have some plugin support for our permissions, but that's about it. Get them fake Sparkies out of here. Exactly, toss them out the door. I'm Sparky the bouncer, and this is the only Sparky allowed in the club. Alright, let's stop corrupting KK Slider. He has had enough. Got your own place, your own, where you can do what you want, where you want. Yeah, living on your own, being free, it feels great. But living on yourself, or living by yourself, can be a real drag too. Still, if you got some really tight friends, like this, somewhere nearby, then you know it will all work out. Yeah, man, friends are far out. I like KK Slider. Oh, I guess I've been rambling. It's kind of bad. Ready to hop on the train? Let's go! On the train. Woo! And save state. Right as we see this lad in the background join us. I forget his name. I should get that before I start corrupting. Rover! Right before we see Rover. Let's target that good old save state. And start blasting it. And this is also previously where we corrupted, so we won't spend too long here. But we'll play around with it a little bit. Now here's my problem, and it makes me want to download the old version of this program, is even though the older version was a little more sluggish, I feel like the intensity of the corruptions was just a lot more. Like this one right here, 312 blast layer size. That is nothing old compared to our old numbers. Like we used to have 4,000, 5,000, 10,000 corruptions, different memory rates. Like it was insane before, and I don't know if the performance has changed in any sense. I don't know if I'm being limited, just so I don't break the game. That's the purpose, right? I gotta break the game. In this case, Rover is a pancake, a flashing pancake at that, and I should warn people, we won't see it right here, but we may run into it in the future. If you are sensitive to flashing lights, loud sounds, bright colors, or anything of that nature, any photosensitive sort of material, we do have a lot of that on the stream, just due to it being a corruption stream. So I do caution you, they are uncontrollable, and if it is a serious condition or anything of that nature, you may need to remove yourself. So far we've seen a little bit of a flashy corruption, but it's nothing compared to what we might get later on, so as a precaution. Anyways, let's take a better look at Rover, or let's actually see if we can mess with Rover. So I'm going to reroll that one. You can hear him walking around, but he kind of appeared upside down. For a second there, he looks like a ghoul in the doorway. Like he has the eyes sticking out, and his hands look like little white phantom hands. Or big head Rover. Even though he's gigantic, I like all the little tiny feet, all the little tiny steps walking up to you. There's a good example of flashing. And various other ones with Rover's size. Oh, he had a long Rover. And he doesn't even walk, he just drifts towards you. Dementors on the Hogwarts Express. Okay, let's mess with our starting address a bit. I'm gonna move it a little bit closer to 0. Ooh, oh my god! This one's kind of a common one with Animal Crossing, but I didn't think we'd get it right away. Where all the textures, like they have a certain resolution to them, just shrink that down. So, say you have a couch, 100% resolution, now it's a 10% resolution, tiled over itself a couple thousand times. That's what we get here. And when we reroll it, we might get some horrifying spider-looking creatures. For example, Rover is a man of 10 faces. If we reroll it, I hope he becomes a spider. That's what my goal is. Spider Rover. As you can see here, there's also a lighting effect, or that actually looks like a zoom effect. You see how the scene is way down here? So let's see if we can remove that one, just so we don't have to deal with it anymore. We're going to do that in the higher up corruption, in the top one. Just when we started re-rolling it. This one. And that one we're going to sanitize just a bit here. Okay, got that. And it's at 80 blast layer, so there's 80 memory writes that are going on to the ROM itself. We're just breaking that down a bit. Now it's down to 40 and 20. And ideally, in one of these ones that we're removing, it has that camera zoom out effect. Down to 10, down to 5, down to 3. Actually messed up there. I removed the perfect one. I'm falling out of practice with sanitizing. I keep telling myself I would like some sort of auto hotkey script thing where I could hit a button. If I'm hovering over the random blast button, hit a button and it will switch either to invert or remove disabled. Make my life so much faster. And I still don't think there's any implementation for hotkeying those buttons individually. There is for the actual Windows Glitch Harvester, the software that's up here. Oh, 2 mouse. The software that's up top. But that doesn't go in hand with the Blast Editor at all. And I would recommend it, I would suggest it, if GameCube corruptions weren't coming to the real-time corruptor anyway, so it's not really a necessity anymore. In fact, the software in itself is going to be very dated in probably a month here, in the sense that no one's going to be using it. I might use it for nostalgia's sake, but that's about it. And my nostalgia is being ruined because they changed all the the software. It isn't quite the same. Anyways, we have resolution adjustment. And from here we can re-roll this one, and now we get all kinds of effects. This one we get sort of a nice static effect. This is in the future when Animal Crossing has people's faces as TVs. But instead of TVs, they're all the old tube TVs, and they just kind of have static all the time. Also, like, he has no body. No body at all, just the bow tie. Or bikini, depending on the way you look at it. I want to get one where there's a nice in-between, so it's not staticky, like this is just such a low resolution that things can't even be rendered properly. I want to get the multiple faces if I can. Like that one, that's not bad. I also like the outdoors, so if you can see that like right along here. That looks pretty nice. Oh, and his face is weird. It's not even that it's just repeated, it's like stretched out, and his mouth is like way down by the chin. Well, I guess it's supposed to be by the chin, but you know, it's stretched out in a way. Creepy nonetheless. Can we get anything else like that before we move on? Oh, yeah, we can. I like how his entire face blinks. It's like he's a Cyclops, where his entire face is one eyeball. That's so weird looking. It's nice though. Anything else? Is that about it? I like the few frames where he moves his head around. It looks like it would keep on spinning around, and you just have faces all around your normal face. Like, how creepy would that be? At any point you could be looking at someone, they couldn't know it because you're just mid-rotate. Oh, that's cool too. The text is, I don't even know what you would call that. I mean, the closest association I have is like wingdings. I guess they just keep some of the text notations within their font, I guess, because this is a font rendering, and maybe some of the characters got messed up. I'm guessing that's a hard one, but I do like the little skull that's right there. All right, I'm gonna move on from that one, and I think I'm also gonna stop corrupting here because we have done this one in full. So if you have seen this before, we will now move on to a section that you have not seen before. Which will involve moving away from this. Did I make myself bigger? I did. I gotta lock myself so I don't do that too often. Yeah, let's knock. That's fine, I'll leave it. So this is the normal one. Is this the time, April 23rd, 9:09? Kind of. Close enough. The laughing wasn't even a corruption, but it sure looked like it was one. I want to corrupt here a bit, so let's target that. I want to take a look at how we can mess with this keyboard. It's kind of a cool looking keyboard. It would also be neat if, well, I don't know how neat it would be. I would like a GameCube controller like this for the gimmick, where it actually has a keyboard in the middle, but it would be fun for about all of 2 minutes, and then I would never use it again. It also doesn't look all that comfortable. Like if it had a hand, what do you call this? A grip on the right side, it would be nice. Anyways, background resolution, shifting, very fast rate, adjusted the variable for speed. Not a whole lot of text corruptions, not a whole lot of game-breaking corruptions, to be honest. Normally as we go through with the Windows glitch harvesters, we will damage the game beyond recognition. I mean, we're pretty much at the top of our intensity right now. We can't get any more intense. Normally when we do this, we would literally break the game. It would just be unplayable. It would be the equivalent of just taking a game disc and just hacking at it a couple times with like a knife or something like that. Unplayable. We don't have that option anymore, and I'm not entirely sure why that decision was made, and I wish it was something that you could choose to switch on or off. At the moment it's not. So, oh well, I guess, right? For that reason, I think if I'm going to be using this as a gimmick program, I will switch back to the old version that we used to use, the alpha version. Also, that's bothering me. Make myself a little bit smaller. Alright. Also, are people on the server? No, no one's on the server. I really hope the IP's right. Like, I just logged into it, right? I wasn't logging into an IP directly, was I? Not verifying, just to be sure. I worry because the people are always asking. Refresh. Yep, server's up. Alright, just to be sure. Okay, move along. Nice sound corruptions. I like this one. It sounds like those old Rolodexes, I think is the name of them, where you'd have a bunch of business cards, and you would just cycle through them. That's nice sounding. I don't know what's pleasant about that, but it is. Minus the weird, like, ghost sound in the background, if you can hear that. Okay, moving along. Rerolling that one. You get a more bassy version. Okay. I'm gonna play around with our starting address, because maybe that's why this change was made, with the intensity and all that. To make it so you actually do move around the starting address a lot. So let's go closer to 0. That is unsafe to do. We might actually crash the emulator. If you hear something that sounds like broken glass, or breaking plates, that means the emulator's crashed, so just a forewarning for that. It's not me breaking plates in the background or anything like that. I've noticed the text like shift in place and stuff like that, so it looks like it's just a bunch of layers that are drawn on top of one another. So you have like the text layer and everything's perfectly laid out, and then you have the bubbles on top of it, and maybe you have the controller on, well, the controller, then the bubbles, then the text itself, stuff like that. Those layers look like they can be swapped out almost interchangeably or stuff like that, because we've removed all the bubbles and yet the text remains, so maybe we just wiped out that bubble layer. The bubble layer being this one. Try a couple more times, and then we'll go ahead and move on. That's interesting. Only some of the text is rendered. It did crash, so it stopped running after that, but still cool to see nonetheless. Okay, nothing. Live train, breaking my ears. That's a pretty one. In fact, I'm gonna take a screenshot of that one. Nope, I'll stop the emulation. I can't ever figure out how to do screenshots in a nice way. I'd like to enable the screenshot feature for Dolphin, but I switch Dolphin versions fairly consistently, and that feature would break depending on the folder, and I would also lose the folder. I use a program called Greenshot for my screenshots, and I think it's fantastic, so I recommend it for anyone in the audience. If you haven't heard of Greenshot, check it out. This one is Animal Crossing text input. Name input. Okay. Moving along. Another thing I'm excited. Oh my god. There's the one case where we needed the Windows sound limiter. One thing I am excited about for the new version of the real-time corruptor that can support Dolphin GameCube games is the ability to play Crash Bandicoot. I'm excited for that. Is that the only GameCube game it couldn't play? Pokemon Stadium, which I have gone out on a limb and said that is the worst game I've ever tried corrupting. That is super cool looking. Oh, I love the background shift. I want that as like an AFK screen. What happens if I full screen on here? Does that do anything? Oh no. Stream marker. How to do a stream marker. Go to Twitch, my channel, make stream marker. I have to go to my dashboard. If I can, I'm gonna do a be right back screen for that, because I like that a lot. Be right back screen. I guess I'll let it roll for a couple seconds so it overlaps itself. It's probably only like a 2-second loop, but very neat. But yeah, I guess Crash Bandicoot is the only one I can think of, and Pokemon Stadium. So Pokemon Stadium was the worst game I've ever corrupted, using this corruptor here. I would say after half an hour of trying to hack at it, I only got one good corruption out of it. Not even good. I got one color corruption out of it. It was a terrible one. And ever since then, I have never done a corruption stream without first doing a preliminary test ahead of time to make sure it corrupts well. In this case, it does corrupt super well for this Animal Crossing. And I'm interested to try that with the new version of the real-time corruptor GameCube support. We'll see if it changes. I'll do it off stream first. I'm going to do a preliminary for sure. But it might be cool to finally corrupt that game, because it is a fun game. And I've tried very many different scenes. The overworld, actually in battle, nothing like to corrupt well. Anyways, I'm going to reroll this to see if it changes slightly. This one sort of looks neat with the small text and kind of looks like a wave of sorts. In fact, if I could cut that out properly, I might actually make that an alert screen. But I might not, because that also involves work. I don't have time right now. I like my current one, which is just a corrupted wave GIF that I might have stolen. I did not steal. It was available, freely available. Gonna keep re-rolling this to see if we get anything else out of it. If you can tell, the actual wave image comes from the top right there, with little squiggles. And there's one last one I wanted to see. I think it was this one. Yeah, okay, that's just something similar we saw before. Alright, moving on. I think we can probably stop corrupting here. Let's just go ahead and give us our name. Give them our name. Caps. Let's just do crashy. Okay. Crashy. Oh, with an accent. Sure. Did you say it was Odd? It's not Odd. It's a great name for a boy. I like Odd. It's Odd Brew. You know it. I'm not a boy. Enter your destination. How do you spell Czechoslovakia? that's gonna be too long. How about, where are we headed? We are headed to I'm bad at names, shoot. Where are we headed? We're headed to not Minecraft. That's the only thing I saw because I looked at my laptop. Tamriel. How about that? Make sure I spell Tamriel right. Tam R-I-E-L. You're going to Tamriel? You know it. That's right. I know that place is one of my favorite vacation spots. Why? What are you going for Tamriel for? What's it to ya? I'm moving. I'm just gonna go through all this. Beep boop. Get this man alone. Miss me? Hit or miss. Yada yada. Arrive on the train. Okay. Now we corrupted this on the title screen. So do we need to corrupt here again? Maybe? We actually see the train coming up. I'm curious if we can corrupt that train. So let's give that a try. Because it is a moving object. And for that reason, we can get our grubby hands on it. Ah, our first full crash, so we actually did something that the emulator hated, and we actually broke the game itself, so you're gonna hear some broken glass. There it is. And the emulator restarts. Luckily, we have a save state, so we can just jump straight back into it. Once it captures, what are you doing, OBS? Terrible. It takes a while to capture. Anyway, let's grab there some more. Ooh, okay, yeah, flashy warning. Once more, if anyone is in the audience, flashing warning for this next couple seconds, because I'm going to play this one. Here we go. This reminds me of a Jub Jub stream. There's just a lot of flash, like this is my first experience watching Jub Jub. There was just so much light going on, there was sounds going off, there's weird people, a man in a monkey costume. I don't know what's going on, but I love it. I fell in love with it right away. And then it all stopped, and it was all normal. I love that guy. Alright. Going back. Oh, we're just stuck there. Do we not move? We don't move. Oh, I got a phone notification. By the way, you work in 6 hours. 7 hours. I forgot to work tomorrow morning. It wasn't... Oh, we also crashed again. If I didn't work tomorrow morning, we're gonna transition straight from this to Oblivion, because I'm really having a hankering for playing Oblivion all of a sudden. Hence the Tamriel name. But, not until tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. It depends what I have in terms of time, because, as I said, these weeks have been very tightly pressed for time. I'm actually glad I got a chance to stream today. The reason for that's also amazing train. Look at that thing. Can I actually get... I want a screenshot of that. Let's redo that. Do I want a screenshot of that? Now that I consider, now that I reconsider. I don't. It's not that fancy. The reason why I'm streaming today is because I finished all my homework early. How about it? We're gonna move our starting address because we keep crashing. There it is. Keep hard crashing. But yeah, I finished my homework early, which is awesome. I've been stuck on... So what we're currently working on is taking... And sorry if you hate programming or any like technical talk, but we're doing that for a little bit. I can't describe it too well, so it's gonna be watching like a monkey try to explain algebra. But also look at the monkeys, they're all tweaking out. So we're currently implementing malloc and free. So essentially, like say when you save something on your computer, you save a picture. Your computer needs to allocate memory for that. And I'm essentially writing a program that does that. It's given a small bit of RAM, about 1,000 bytes or something like that. And I'm in charge of allocating memory and writing the methods for allocating memory for malloc, and releasing memory, and dealing with, you know, if you allocate a certain amount of memory, do you add padding? Do you free and order? How do you free? Do you shift around memory? Stuff like that. And I've been stuck on that for a while. The really difficult part comes next week. I've just been getting the real basics down for like, what happens if you allocate all of memory and then free it? Or what happens if you do a partial allocation? How do you subdivide it? Stuff like that. I'm glad I finished it today. I was working on the free method, and that was the last thing I did before I started streaming. I also was reviewing someone else's writing, which took me a bit. I actually love doing that. We do surprisingly a lot of... Okay, other than being loud, it's a cool setting. We do surprisingly a lot of peer-reviewed papers for our writing program at the university. And I've actually really enjoyed doing those. I told myself I would change the starting address, let me do that now. I really enjoy writing comments for other people because I think they find it extremely useful. And I like giving very detailed, if I can, well thought out questions that will be like long and that will give a lot of information about what I'm thinking when I'm reading it, because as you're writing it, you can't get that like unbiased or taken away perspective. So I'm the only person who can give that because I'm reading it fresh. So I try to give that fresh opinion, like maybe they knew about something that comes in later at the paper that they didn't describe well enough at the beginning of the paper. I'll talk about that. Pay attention to grammar and stuff like that, obviously. All that kind of fun stuff. Phone's freaking out, sorry. Okay. So that's what I was working on before this as well. Why does it keep crashing? What's going on with that? It's not liking it. Oh, not only did it crash. Ooh, okay. My mouse, do you see my mouse? You see it right here. It can't get to the close program button. My computer's like totally freezing up. That's going through the mic, right? Oh yeah, it is going through. I don't know what's going on. I can't alt tab. I'm still live, so that's good. The downsides of corrupting. Wow, what did we break? Okay, so I gotta try to alt tab to the program, which I now have selected. Alt F4. Yeah. Okay, that wasn't the problem though. The problem is actually Dolphin, so I have to try to close that. If it will close. It's kind of breaky. Go away. Crash. Crash properly. It did crash, so that's what we were resulting in. Oh, it's so sluggish. I hope... I'm not talking because I don't know if it's going to mic. I think it's going to mic now. Okay. So it froze up for a sec. I'm still just trying to close the program. That's what happens when I try to click close program. I think I gotta pull down stream. I think I have to. Which I really don't want to. I'd rather just this program close. Ah, there we go. Close program. Oh, no, froze up again. Ah! Yes! I don't know what happened. That was the weirdest crash I probably had. Because I lost control of my mouse. Like, it was moving at like a fraction of an inch per second. Don't know what we corrupted that caused that, but it was not something ideal. Another tick for not liking the new version of this corruptor, the beta version. It was like a memory leak or something like that, I don't know. Anyway. We gotta start up the real-time corruptor once again and get all of our engines going. Oh, just now, a new version of the real-time corruptor was also released. I really hope that's not the new version, is it? 153 made renaming stash keys cleaner. Bug fixes. Real-time corruptor fixed max infinite step units. Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff with the new version of the real-time corruptor that I don't know anything about because I've been behind on the 3.28 branch. They're on 350 now, so I'm way behind. Breaking any engines dependent on it, so just bug fixes. I'm really waiting on the new Vanguard version. That's why I checked the changelog right away, because if that was released, we're downloading it right now and playing it. But it's not released yet, so no worries. I'm on 3.52 currently, so at some point I will download the new version of 3.53. But we don't need that yet. Okay, back to the good Sharpstar. There it all is. Good to go. We need to target Dolphin once again, start the NetCore server, target our save state, and switch to our vector engine. However, I'm going to try using the Nightmare engine in just a moment. I just want to make sure that everything's still working all right. Blast target, still corrupting okay, solid. Now we're going to try the Nightmare engine. So we only use the vector engine because it's very safe to use. We don't get a lot of very breaky corruptions. Switching to the Nightmare engine, I don't know what's going to happen. Usually this just breaks your emulator no matter what, because most of the time you shouldn't be writing random data within memory. Here's an attempt. With 0 intensity. That's fantastic. And we're going to go far out in memory. That is the sound I actually really like to hear, because this means that we broke it properly. This is what we're used to. And we actually got a full-on broken. Okay. At least that, at the very least, hasn't been removed. And when we actually look at the blast layer entry for that, we do get a little bit more because we can manually change the addresses. It's not safe like the vector engine. We have 5,000 entries. That's what we expect with the vector engine, and that's why I'm confused why that was changed. I'm gonna try to get more information on that because I'm just kind of like, I don't know why that is. But for the time being, it's kind of a big struggle for me. Let's get past this train part. So you get off the train, Tamriel, you're not arriving at Tamriel. Feels like something's burning. Okay, sorry, I'm distracted. Tom Nook, excuse me. Yes, you there, with the big hat. I'm not gonna read any of this, I apologize. If you want to read it, check out the GameCube version of the Animal Crossing, it's fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna make a save state there. Just as we're walking with Tom Nook. Also, I love the music. Let me be right back. Alright, sorry about that. Flick on my camera. There we go. Hi! Back to this. Okay, once again, I'm not getting a lot of effects here. I guess I have to bump up my intensity a bit. This is, again, normally where we would have our intensity if we were being, with our normal corruptions. Our normal GameCube ones. If we up that intensity... there we actually get effects. Inject on select. I want to take a look at this one, which we have that sort of resolution effect again, where everything's all kind of minimized to a very small box. But not too much outside of that, minus Tom Nook freaking out. He's still trying to catch up with us? Can you catch up, Tom Nook? We're trying to catch up to him too, we're trying to walk towards him. And never quite got to us, did he? Some say he's still running to this day. Oh, and a reroll crashed it. We're also very crash heavy. Like, it's insane how crashy we are. It might just be the game. Might just be the game. possibly. Okay, I'm messing with some back engine stuff. What? So there's this button that says, blast into effect. No effect found after 15 seconds? What? That doesn't quite work, right, does it? Starting address, let's move that closer to 0. Like, something's wonky. I swear. It's not even quite working right. Let's do a full intensity, I guess? Okay, nothing at all. So I think I gotta shut down the glitch harvester, which we're doing now. Start that back up. Target save state. Target dolphin. Start netcore server. Vector engine. Extended plus limiter list. Up the intensity, change the starting address, blast. Enable cached multi-threading. Don't know why that was disabled. What's going on here? It's not even targeting it properly. Let me open up the console for that. So... nothing's actually being sent to the game. Ah, I'm at a loss. Let me restart it. So do this. Restart this. Hey, Captain Sis, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Sorry, I'm just trying to fix my emulation tools right now. They're kind of getting a little breaky. We're using a new version of our old tools. You know what? As a sanity check, let's do this. Start Windows Glitch Harvester. I don't know if this will all capture properly. It won't. Ugh, shoot. Ah, it might. Yeah, there we go. This is the old version. The purple. It has not been purple for a very long time. I think we're on 92. This is 94. I don't even know what's going on with that. Target dolphin. Good general warning stuff. Target this. Our intensity slider, as you can see, this is the rightful intensity slider. I think it's just a mod of like 10 or something like that. Like they brought it way down, and this is just some variation. Absolutely love that you're playing Animal Crossing with the GameCube. You might not have that love for long, depending on what we're about to do here. We are breaking Animal Crossing for the GameCube, actually. But I do love Animal Crossing for the GameCube, near and dear to my heart. Netcore isn't starting. I'll try to start that up. So you might see some broken stuff, so depending on if you like that or not, we'll see. It's acting a little funny though, which is too bad. Our corruption tools in general have been kind of odd lately today. It has been a while since I used them. Let me switch back to the proper version. I think it was a version incompatibility. But back to the Windows Glitch Harvester, which is the software up here. Once it loads up, I think I gotta manually load it all for OBS, because it's all slow. There we go. Charting Dolphin once again, Neri's mod, very special version for it. Okay. And now it loads. Alright, that's a good sign. Now it's up our intensity. And change our starting address. Now we got some effects. Okay, I don't know what was going on there. It's like we had to go for a full fresh restart. But now we see some nice some good old corruptions. Captain says I think you've been here, correct? You've been here before. Yeah, you've been following since March. 2019. That was last month, right? Yeah, so you've seen this kind of stuff before. What are you doing for a corruption? Well, we're just writing random data to the ROM, so we're trying to break it in any way we can. And in this case, we broke, it looks like the texture rendering of sorts. Can we still talk? Will Tom Nook let us talk? We can, which is a good sign. So let's get through all this text. He's gonna ask us to choose a house, but we're not gonna choose a house. We're just gonna walk around. Go see this wonderful world that has been created. Oh, it won't let us leave though. That's right. You have to go through this long tutorial before you can actually see the real world. You have to select your house. You have to go to Tom Nook's shop and like go train for a day. A lot of preliminary stuff that we're not going to go through to actually get to the overworld. But we're just going to see these little snippets. Anyways, he's like, get back here and go choose a house. Also, I don't know, what is this obelisk in the middle? Do you want this house? Sure. Oh, what a depressing, dreary place. Not only is it just a small house with nothing in it, it is gray and drab and has little corruption all over it. Tom Nook, yeah, he does make you do a lot of crap. True that. Alright, with this current corruption, let's go and reroll. Now you have what looks like a beta version of Animal Crossing, with the textures just stretched out. They're just general ones, no detailing on it whatsoever. Very broad. Moving along further, we get more lines. Ooh, I kind of like this one. It looks like a really bad ripoff. Like you'd buy this at like a GameStop, and it didn't have the actual case with it, like the actual official Nintendo case. It was just one of the bad Nintendo ones, and it's like Animal Cross. Not Animal Crossing, just Animal Cross. The text isn't even English. I don't know what that's in. You can kind of see, well, it actually looks like you can see through to his neck. Like there's a little black spot that's right around here. Your whole face is blinking? Exactly, we are Cyclops. God. I want this house. I want this white brick among all the other white bricks. Radio? No radio. We're just gonna blink on out of here then. Did you like it? I did not. Tom Nook. Alright, and these are all variations of that same effect. This is also kind of a nice, like, changing the palette looking effect. Like, it just looks like a different ground, to be honest. But it looks nice. Moving on further. Is there anything else we want to keep? That's just in general, changing those resolutions will create this kind of effect. Let's go and clear out our history and start again from the top. Now we're gonna get some brand new corruptions. Something red popped up there for a sec. Oh, it's just a message board. Oh, that's right, that's what you said was a message board, the obelisk. I was like, I'm not sure what you mean the message board. Now I understand, okay. I didn't know that was in the middle of the town. It's been a while since I played the GameCube version. I would say I played the DS one a lot more as a kid. I did have the GameCube one though. I played that one later. I think I got tired of the mole popping up and telling me about my saves. But I never exited the game without saving now, so maybe it was for the best. This one we got some nice sound. Sounds like we're at like an arcade or something like that. Some weird sounds too. This one here, the music was shifted slightly. A little off key. Oh! Look how fast he ran! Look at him sprint towards that message board. And that music, or that sound. Have we died and gone to hell or something like that? Like this is a bad place. Choose your eternal grave. There's only 4 and they're all terrible. Oh, it says post. I thought the mailboxes said lost. I was like, oh, even worse. Also, we zip around the screen too. You can't leave. You gotta stay. You gotta pick your grave. Alright, I want this grave. House looks okay. Let's see Tom Nook sprint over to us. Oh no, he's just standing there. Oof. Sure, looks great. I don't know what all this is. We've died and gone to limbo? Yes, we have. We absolutely have. That sound is like the most unnerving, creepy sound I've ever heard, you know? Also, what's going on, Charlock? Hope you're doing well. Gotta go all through this text. I don't actually know what he's saying at this point, I kind of forgot. It's some long text, though. I want to see him run. Oh my. Okay, we're just gonna do this instead. Let's reroll it. Oh. Thorny rather than thorny. Were you playing on the server a little bit earlier? I accidentally hit a button on my laptop. It wasn't the power button, but it was some combination of FN and one of the FN keys, and it shut it down. And I was like, oh no, so I restarted the server, and luckily the IP hasn't changed, so I didn't have to switch on Cloudflare or anything like that. So sorry about that if you were on. No one else has joined, which makes me worry. But I know the server's running, I've checked it twice, and I've been able to connect, so... I kicked everyone off, and everyone was angry at me. To infinity and beyond, exactly. Skyrocket off to the sky. Goodbye, cruel world. Here's a reroll that effect. We're now in the forest, and we keep hitting the trees. This song. This is just depressing. I hate it. Helping a tree. This is what it has come to. Oh, okay, I was gonna say we started moving around again. Even humping the cave. Right? This song. It's just like you're walking down the street and you just feel bummed. That's what I hear from this. It's bringing me down. Alright, out of this one. This one makes me feel stressed. And no music at all. The pure bliss. Oh, there we are! Oh, it didn't see us! Wait, were we in the other one? I don't think I saw this before. Oh, I love that. That's amazing. Can we move? I don't know. I'm trying to move myself. I think I have some degree of control over the character. Or maybe it's just random. Was he there before I totally didn't see him? And we have just entered purgatory. Oh, I should pull up that other one then so I can actually get a look at him. Yeah, I didn't see him in the trees here. Maybe I'm a little blind though. I am blind. Anyway, it took a while till we actually got out of this area, so let's move on. Back to this one. I want to keep re-rolling this because we got two interesting effects. At the wall though, you can see him. At the wall. Oh, when he got to the wall. Yeah, gotcha. I didn't see the wall one. I think I stopped paying attention at that point to like where, to like looking at the scene. I just saw the mountain and I was like, oh. This is like some like creepy house music. I can actually jam to this though. Like I can do homework to this. It's not lo-fi or anything like that, but it's like beats to relax to. Alien language. Oh yeah, alien language for sure. Like they're just bars, that's just how they talk to each other. So, I keep wanting to have this idea. I can barely hear it. Let me turn it up like all the way. I know it's super quiet on my end too. I might be drowning it out too, I'm sorry. So something I want to do, and I'm not going to do it yet, because I do not have time during this quarter because I am just up to my eyes in work. But this summer, for music, because we get a lot of music corruptions, I'd like to compile some of those. Like maybe we pick a section, or we pick maybe a game, and we go through each section with that music, and we choose our favorite corrupted song, and maybe turn it into a like OST of sorts. Like wouldn't that be kind of neat? I don't know, maybe I'm talking over my head, but I would like that idea. And I know someone's done that before. Welsh Gamer, also known as Zero Ducks Given, did a small portion of that, but didn't go further into it. And I think he only had done small ones for like Donkey Kong Country and Sonic. And I want to go further with stuff like Animal Crossing, other games that I like. Right? Like, I feel like that'd be kind of fun. And then at the very end of the day, like, you have sort of a corrupted album, Of course, I wouldn't monetize for anything like that, so it's still like the copyright holding material. But it's technically a different song. I mean, if you can play it up to that, it's a parody or whatever like that. Maybe take like a corrupted picture, like for example this scene, and then put that as like the album cover. Release that to my YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, by the way. Go check that out. And stream start music, exactly. Like it's another like archive I could pull from. That'd be very neat. There's a lot of stuff that I like about that. So at some point I'd like to begin that. I think I'll do that during the summer when I have a little bit more creative time. At the moment I don't really have too much time to do that, sadly. But I'm keeping it in the back of my head. I'm gonna put that on my list. I actually hadn't put that to type, so let me actually type that out. Spend time during summer working on corrupted music albums, something like that. Alright, moving on to this music. I'm gonna lower the stream audio just in case this screams at you. It didn't, that's nice. I like that we're rotating too. Another sad one. Like, this is what happens when you don't find friends in Animal Crossing. You hear this music, Tom Nook just leaves. Like, you paid off your debt. No more need for him to be there. No more need for you to be there. Just get out of the town. What are you doing here? And you slowly back shimmy off the end of the screen. Credits roll. That's even perfect for it. Yeah, see ya, Tom. I mean, that's perfect. Just roll the credits. I mean, shoot. Oh. Alright, moving along. There's another creepy one. I think we'll move on from the creepy music, but I've been enjoying these a lot. Oh, we're stuck on water. That time we actually showed up in a tree. There was also, we got to the island. Which is actually loaded in. I didn't know that would be loaded in. I think that'd be like a separate area that they don't load until you actually walk over there. God. Alright, clearing out my history. And starting from the top. So this is a brand new one. We do have cached corruptions, so that's why we see the same corruption again, even though there's other stuff being added to it. So this one will be brand new and actually fresh. And we see the world that's upside down. We had some pictures where it's actually zoomed out. We saw that on the Nintendo DS version. And if you didn't know anything about the Animal Crossing worlds, they're rendered on a cylinder. So as you walk, you're constantly walking across the curvature of the world. We might not see that here, unfortunately. I think that, I don't know how the old one is rendered. It might actually just be a 2D plane. It'd be cool to see that, but I'm pretty sure it's rendered like this, like a flat plane. It was cool to see it on the Nintendo DS though. Let's see. Oh, I got my OBS window, so tiny. You should have done some corruptions on a Saturday night so you could do it during KK songs. That's a good point. KK songs would be actually really fun. Do a whole album of KK. Oh, that's right, I can change my game time. That's true. I think game time might be easier. A new perspective of the game, exactly. It's a 2D and the GameCube version. Gotcha. Okay, that would explain things. Because I think we've been zoomed out before, and we saw the actual areas being loaded. So we saw the actual squares as they were loaded in the various areas. 8 PM on a Saturday. Okay, we can try that. But the problem with that, though, is we have to get past the whole tutorial. I don't think I'm going to do the tutorial. Just because I don't have the time to do that, we might call it here in about 30 minutes or so. Discord doesn't say you're streaming. I know, I don't know what's up with Discord. Oh, actually, no, Discord does say I'm streaming. I see it on my end. And it says I'm live, too. All it really matters is as long as the Odd Brew live bot gets me. Yeah, I'm okay as long as that gets me. I also see it on my end, but maybe, I don't know, maybe it's not loading in. Couldn't tell you. But you can't go see KK during the tutorial. I think if I do that, like I'll do it later on for one of those music corruption streams. In which case I'll just start a new game, because he's playing a little bit of music there. If I want to get like all the music, I think I'll go with preset save states. I think that'd be my best route. Maybe. Because he plays a different song each week in the GameCube version? Is that right? I don't know if that's right. But yeah, that would be a lot of fun. True that. Animal Crossing Harvest Moon I would love to do. A lot of old school games I'd love to try, especially the soundtrack for like Donkey Kong Country. That'd be very fun. And every single time I put a Donkey Kong Country song in one of my videos, like I play at the beginning of the stream, I do it for intermission, huge section of the VOD gets muted, without a doubt. Like 5 minutes after the song has actually ended, VOD muted. 5 to 10, like it's more than usual. Like usually it would be the song ends, give it a good like 30 seconds, but no, it's like 10 minutes, wipe it. It's like, come on, be nice. You can also request songs. Oh, okay, gotcha. The requesting I think would be the good one. Different song each week, but you can request them. So like I would get maybe 100% playthrough and then just request them. Like go to the performance and request. That'd probably be the best route. I like this one. Let's try re-rolling this one. See if we can change up the perspectives. This is like some Zoom level. Upside down world. You talking in a well, Tom Nook? Gimme. Yeah, feel free to take a look inside. Doors don't have any locks. That's not safe, Tom Nook. That's not something to advertise to random strangers. These doors don't have locks. Squat anytime. I love him inside a well. That sounds hilarious. I don't want to pick a place to leave. I want to leave, Tom Nook. I don't want to live here with your debt. Can we walk around here? You can kind of see the world being loaded in as you move around. Animal Crossing Australia edition? That's mean. I guess it's not really mean, just geography. I'm trying to walk away so I can load a little bit more. There we go. We flipped the planet! Flip the iceberg. Can we go back? Nope. We have vanished out of existence. See, flat earthers don't want you to know that if all of you stand on one edge of the planet, this is what happens. You flip the planet over. Now it's just traveling through space. They don't know where it's going. Alright, moving on. Here we are, not too shabby. Not too shabby indeed, Tom Nook. I'm gonna move around my starting address some more. Yeah, capsize the earth. I mean, capsize the earth. It like went into itself. I guess if it imploded, that's one thing that you could say. It is capsized. We're waiting for Tom Nook to stop. Like, he hasn't given his dialogue yet, he's just having a bit of a seizure. A little bit of one. Poor guy. At least we're being polite about it. He's having a seizure? And you know why? It's because of this! It's because of this disco hall. God. Don't just stand there. Make sure he doesn't bite his tongue. Okay, this one is just creepy. You wake up in the middle of the night, you're on the ground, you don't know what happened. Your head is just in pain, and you see this. A pair of feet pop up near you. You don't know what's happening. A man named Tom Nook announces himself and starts talking in a weird voice. You look over, he's a tanuki. Can you explain how you corrupt games? I can a bit. Would you like a more broad explanation in terms of the software I use, or would you like a more specific example on how the corruptions actually work? I can give either. It's Mad Stormy IRL. Oof. Oh shoot, storms are awesome. I love storms. Like, power goes out, it's awesome. I usually don't get power outages anymore because I don't live in a small town anymore. But I love when the power goes out. I used to love it. Maybe not so much anymore because I gotta play games, but yeah. But I love the rain, I love the hail if there is, I love the thunder. Storms are just the best. I can't wait for June because usually June, where I live back home, is rainy season, so I'm excited. Either, let's go with the specific corruption idea. I won't go with the software because that could be a little overwhelming to talk about all the various softwares. but I'll show you an example of one. Once we find a good looking corruption, I'll walk through it a little bit. Right now we just have some various parameters set in our some program called our Windows Glitch Harvester. Up at the top, I can't point sadly because I get cut off. We have an intensity slider, which just says how many memory writes. Like imagine you have a block. How many memory writes would you like to send to the ROM? And those memory writes can contain anything. They can contain a bunch of zeros. Say you have the ROM itself and it has all this data, and you say, okay, at these specific locations, write zeros. It could be that, it could be random data, so at these locations, just change their values. And then we can get more specialized, not with this program, but with other programs. Say, given all those data entries, increment their values, add 1 to them, or decrement their values, or swap their values in memory, or stuff like that. Those are all specific examples, but let me show you what that actually looks like. The stores are all fun and good until you're out camping in it. Oh god, yeah, camping in it. Yeah, never mind. I like my house where it's pretty watertight, we don't get flooding, it's just like, I get to have a fairy tale of existence. I don't have to worry about anything bad happening to me with the rain. I can curl up and enjoy a book or something. No, in places where the storms are actually your house might come undone, forget that. Tornado season, forget about it. I'm not living in Missouri. And don't say June, it's the rainy month. I'm going to be working at Boy Scout camp during the summer. It isn't always the rainy season. It's where I live, it's the rainy season. I can't be too specific about the environments, but I know a lot of places June is not rainy at all. June is summer. I mean, it's middle of summer, so you're totally fine probably, depending on where it is. So do you input the values yourself, or do you randomize them? And that's where the list is coming from. I randomize them, let me get to that. I'll show you in a sec. I gotta find a good one in memory first. So let's find a good corruption and I'll explain that one. This is a good one, I like this. So say I was hitting this blast target button, and what that was doing is it was randomizing those values, and we can actually take a look at those values. So see this entry right here within the stash history? This was that corruption, and I can open up that entry, and we get a big old list here. This is the corruption itself. So if we look at here, the very first line, is that very visible? I don't know if you guys can read it. Yeah, you kind of can. The very first line says, it's kind of hard to read, and that's understandable. On the real-time corruptor, which is another version of this software, it's much easier to read. I just use the old version. It says it's source address 140.15002. That is a random source address picked from anywhere within the ROM, as dictated by the starting address up here. So it says where you'd like to corrupt, I want to corrupt there, give me a source address from there. At that location, we're going to set a value, and that value is again a predetermined list. We're using a very specialized list of values, ones that we know won't break the GameCube. So we can't write a really big value, I don't know, 256, which would be outside of most integer values. No, wait, GameCube's different, I'm sorry. That wouldn't be on GameCube, that's old school systems. But anyways, we wouldn't write an overflow integer or anything like that. And there are 142 of those memory writes here. And one of those 142 memory writes creates the effect that we're seeing on screen. Also worth noting, what's going on with the screen? Ah, Java controller. What's going on with the screen? Are we changing day and night cycles? Is that what's happening? It looks like that's what's happening. It's either that or stuff is just flickering in terms of lighting. But I want to keep either this green effect or whatever's happening with the lighting. So let's see if we can narrow that down. Now within this blast editor, we have all these entries, and you can see next to them they have little X's. Like this one right here, if I want to unselect it, I can just double click on it. It no longer has that X. And we can try loading the corruption once again without this little blue entry in there. Once I do that, however, you might notice that nothing changed and it looks mostly still the same. And for that reason, since we have 142 entries, one entry probably doesn't do anything. What we can do instead is we can randomly disable 50% of our corruptions, so just take half of this bundle. We're going to click on that. A bunch of these have been unselected. We'll load the corruption once again, and in this case, actually the corruption that we want isn't there anymore, so we can assume that it isn't in this half. It's in the other half. Also, hi Greensea, how's it going? Animal Crossing, you know it. A lot of people are fans of Animal Crossing, which I like to hear. I'm a big fan ever since I was a kid. So it's not here. The ones we unselected contain the one we were looking for. So I'm going to invert the ones we disabled, swap those other corruptions to the other half, and there's our corruption. And we're going to keep doing that in this fashion, disabling half, if it's not there, inverting it and reloading it. And we go through this kind of quickly, but eventually, ideally, we'll knock down this stockpile, this blast layer down to just one entry, one memory rates. Right now we're at 8, now we're down to 4, 2, and 1. So now we have a single memory rights. And if I told you, hey, go get your copy of Animal Crossing for the GameCube, dump it to your PC, and write at this very specific source address with a save state and all that, at the source address here, this value, you get the same effect. Which is super cool. Because now this is repeatable, and if I gave you this stockpile with my save state, you could play it on your game. Your game completely different from mine, still the same copy of Animal Crossing, of course. You can play the exact same corruptions, and that's why it makes it possible for me to package these corruptions up and give them to other people. I've been kind of slow for that lately, but that's what I intend to do with most of these. Tragic Chaos, what's going on? Hi! We're crafting some Animal Crossing. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Hopefully I explained stuff. Captain Sis, let me know if you have any further questions. Hi everyone! Welcome, one and all. My name's TechSupportSparky and I do corruptions on stream. What were you streaming, Tragic? I think I saw a little bit. It was Mario RPG? It looked like a lot of fun. Corruptions, corrupting people's childhood games, if you will. We just got this one narrowed down, which is some kind of weird lighting effect. We couldn't figure out what was happening. But I'm gonna send it to our stash and try changing what happens. In case we change the color that's in the background. Don't know quite what's going on there. Different lighting effects. Say it's the dude from the Progressive commercial. What, Jake from State Farm? Progressive? What? I'm a State Farm kind of guy. Super Mario RPG, yep, I kept dying tonight, but still had lots of fun. I mean, dying in itself is kind of fun. Well, this sounds actually kind of depressing. Dying in games is kind of fun, because then you learn. It's a learning process, you know? You get a little bit better at the game. Absolutely, flashing lights warning. Thank you so much, Charlock. For anyone that is in the audience, if you are sensitive to flashing lights, bright colors, or loud sounds, we do have a lot of that on this stream, so be cautious of that. You may need to remove yourself because I don't have a lot of control over it. But with all the new audience here, let's go and try blasting a brand new corruption, see if we can get something brand new. In this case, we completely got rid of the characters. Actually, they are still there. We flipped the map upside down. And all we're doing is we're taking the ROM itself and we're just writing memory to it randomly, just destroying the ROM and breaking what happens, and we get these kind of interesting kind of effects. Sometimes the music breaks, sometimes the text is a little bit off, and sometimes we find something golden. I'm hoping we find that soon. I'm gonna change around all these sliders that I have available. I keep most of my corruption windows available, so if anyone wants to, I don't know, maybe not follow along, but wants to take a look at what I'm doing, they can. Right now I'm controlling where within the ROM I'm actually corrupting with the starting address. Staring contest? Staring contest with whom? With me? Oh, with them. So here's an example of a good one. I like the really tiny face on our character. What was that experimental autocorruptor Vinny was using on Sunday? It's not available yet, and I'm very excited for it to come out. It's the real-time corruptor Vanguard. It's not available yet. I think Neri is yet to release it. When it does come out, though, GameCube games can be corrupted using the real-time corruptor, which will be revolutionary for GameCube corruptions. At the moment, we're using the Windows Glitch Harvester, which is a bit archaic, but I'm excited, very excited. Going in and corrupting the ROMs, that sounds super technically complicated, but well worth the results. Oh, absolutely. There's some fantastic people out in the world that either corrupt the ROMs or play the corrupted stockpiles that we create. Hey, thank you for the follow as well, Noah's Matt. Appreciate it. I myself, I create the stockpiles and send them off. I haven't created too many lately, so you might not have seen any, but I try to give them to people so that they can play them, and hopefully you enjoy the results from them. I like this one specifically, so all the resolutions are a little messed up. We're gonna re-roll this one to see if we can change what came out of this various unique combination of corruptions. and we do see that, like the face is a little bit different, the text box has changed a tad. The faces look off in this one, but I'm not sure if they are. What is that emote? Bum face. More small faces, stuff like that. We might not get too much out of this. A little bit of a music corruption, but not too interesting. Let's start brand new with a fresh one. I'm gonna clear out my history. As we're going along, we're collecting like little nuggets of these corruptions. And we can go back in time and reload some of the ones that we already played. If we want to, say, save them, like this one's amazing. I want to throw it on the stockpile and call it the best corruption. And it will pop up here. But we're not gonna do that right now. I'm gonna remove that, clear out my history, and start from the top. The nightmare fuel, oh yeah. Absolutely the nightmare fuel. We've got a couple horrifying ones. I think Tragic Chaos rated us, or hosted us, I forgot, fairly recently, where we were doing WWE corruptions, and as you can imagine, those like character models, they have a lot of movement, like they have to move their arms around, their neck, their eyes, everything. So corrupting their face animation, their body animation, you can get some very disturbing results. And I had a lot of fun with that one. I want to do another one soon. I'm kind of iffy about playing wrestling games because I'm not really into the whole wrestling scene at all. But seeing John Cena do a chicken dance was hilarious. So possibly in the future. At the moment, I haven't been able to stream too many corruption streams. I've been doing mostly Oblivion playthroughs, because I'm currently a university student, so I got kind of rotating my time around. Oh, we actually crashed the emulator, so every once in a while, as we're corrupting, we do something that the GameCube system is like, hey, don't do that, you just broke me, and it freaks out and kind of blue screens. When that happens, you're gonna hear some broken plates. There it is. And it reloads the emulation. Lucky for us, we have a save state, so we can just jump straight up and straight back in. There it is. Oh, and this is neat. This kind of looks like a like an alpha version when it released. Like no textures at all. Just a little bit of the road laid out. Soft lock, exactly. Woo! Oh god, I love it. Reroll that one a bit. Oh, so here's that warning for the flashing. So one last warning. If anyone is sensitive to flashing lights, we do have a flashing corruption right here. So big precaution. I am going to play this in 3, 2, 1. So we got a flashing corruption. It's like a disco. Audio isn't too bad. I want to go inside one of the houses, so we're going to zoom through this. Even further flash. Mega Man confusion. It's a rave, exactly. This is the best way to choose houses. If you didn't know, like if you're going house shopping and they don't bring along like a disco ball, they're not doing it right. And you go inside the depressing house and it's just nothing. You can't even see the light outside. Tech, did you know, because the size of this game was designed to fit on an N64 cartridge, the entire game can load into GameCube RAM. I didn't know that. Meaning once you load the game, you can take the disc out and play the game just fine. What? That's awesome! I totally didn't know that. Thank you for that little bit fact. Just bring LSD to buy a house. Exactly. That's what you gotta do. It's either the disco ball or the LSD. You gotta have some way to have fun when you're buying a house. It's such a depressing, boring task in itself. Anyways, let's keep rolling. This one we get even more of a flashy effect. Oh, this one, like the road and the grass is changing at a different rate. Oh, and then it ends. The trip ended. Look at her face. It's like on the side. It's when you have like a really small smirk and you're like really happy about something but you don't want to show people, so you give a little bit of a smirk. I kind of want to see Tom Nook's face. Let's see if he shows it. Tech condones the use of LSD only when you're buying a house. If you can afford a house, go for it. I mean, shoot. That won't be me for another 10, 15 years. Sadly, we can't get a look at Tom Nook, but I wish we could. I love it. I've been trying to figure out where Owsley Stanley's house was for years. Owsley Stanley's house. I don't know who that is. That goes over my head. Also, yes, let's buy this house. Even though we smile, we're dead on the inside. You can get a look at Tom Nook at the very start of the save state. Oh, that's right. Well, we also give him a little bit here. Reload it? Okay. Oh yeah, you're right! Right there! Oh, let me pause it. Right there. We're matching! Oh, that's great. It doesn't even line up with his nose. He made a ton of LSD and did the sound for the Grateful Dead. Gotcha, okay. Are you trying to look for his long-lost stash of LSD in his house? I buried a trunk full of it. Good luck. He had a house in Orinda. I don't know that place in California, but I didn't know which one. He got super busted there. Super busted in the sense of he got super messed up, or super busted in the sense that like cops found his LSD and shut him down. Because that has two meanings. Alright, let's move on from the trippy LSD ones. Let's see if we can get the face one knocked down. So we're opening the blast editor, which just gives us a rundown of the corruption itself, and all the various memory writes that are on it. And we're just gonna sort of reduce them one by one, well, half by half, until we figure out which one controls the face. So in this case, we have 196 memory writes, and now when we cut this down by half, we have 98. I'm gonna do that real quick, just to try to narrow down that face corruption. Oh, he's busted by the cops. Gotcha. I wonder how you get busted by the cops like that. Like, if you're silent in your house, everything would probably be okay unless someone gave a tip off. So you had to be doing something that triggered their attention. Like, you either went outside completely naked and scared the old granny that used to live across the street, before she had a heart attack, of course, from seeing the naked man. Or some other act, of course. Alright. There's the face corruption, all narrowed down. This is a resolution corruption, so it's also gonna be the street and everything else. But let's see what else we can get out of it. Actually, just one of these two, pretty much. This one's a little different. Do we get a face? We don't. Lots of neat street ones. Ah, there's one. So we had a Cyclops earlier where his entire face blinked. This one's not bad! He looks really happy, at least you can see his smile. Oh, that also might be part of his nose, I can't tell. He got booked for meth or something because LSD wasn't quite illegal yet. Oh, gotcha. The Grateful Dead set the cops to be wary of him and LSD. Gotcha. He gave a little bit of a tip off, I understand. Ah! Also, let's see Tom Nook. Does he have the same? I think he does, but we just can't make it out. Oh wait, yeah, actually, that does look kind of weird. It's like part of his like coloration, you know, of raccoons or Tanukis have like the color around their eyes and stuff like that. That's just tilted. Mike Wazowski! Exactly. I miss Monsters Inc. So that's a great one. Let's keep moving on. Anything else we might move on from this one. I like that we got that eye one though. Yeah, let's move on. So I'm gonna clear out my history. Start from the top. Move all the cached stuff. Oh, this one again is super zoomed out. However, we phased through a house, if you can see that. At the top left there. And upside down once again, which is cool. Also, the time of day has changed too. We're also kind of like in late nights. Or dusk, I guess you call it. So that's cool. Change the daytime. Ah, yes! The tweakouts. The loss of bodily control. The seizures. We have many names for what goes on in these instances, but they're always wonderful. They always make you smile. And this is no different. Let's re-roll it a bit. Let's see what we can change on this and see how badly we can get it. Stretching before exercises. Actually, yeah, it kind of does look like a stretch. Like he's getting his neck out, he's getting his back out, he's getting his spinal cord nice and stretched out, as you do. Me trying to move in my dreams, and you wake up and you're just like wrapped up in your sheet or blanket or whatever. This looks way better than using Cheat Engine. That's how I've corrupted many things. Cheat Engine is, to a degree, useful. Part of the real-time corruptor includes Cheat Engine, That is the... what's it called? I know it is Blast Cheat because that's the unit name. Oh, GeForce Game Ready Driver is ready. Hell Genie. Hell Genie is Cheat Engine. So if you use the Hell Genie extension of the real-time corruptor, you're using Cheat Engine essentially. And it has its uses. I've used a lot of Hell Genie corruptions in the past. I've used Cheat Engine in itself for PC corruptions, which are very, very finicky, and I don't like streaming them very often. I'll do it on the rare occasion. Dance Party Animal Crossing, exactly. So Cheat Engine has its uses, but this is, I would say, a lot easier in that sense. It's the Get and Dance, Get Down, right? Japanese Mad remix fad that originated from a glitch found in Nintendo 64 first-person shooter game. Why do I don't know any about this. I don't know this. This is new to me. In GoldenEye. I'm gonna keep that down. I got some research to do. You give me references I don't even know about. Let me see here. So... we're almost narrowed this down. I've lost my train of thought. We're at 50 memory writes. I'm gonna keep breaking it down. Now we're at 25, 13, 6. Triork, thank you for the follow as well. Always appreciate it. I've only ever corrupted PC games. Yeah, not for stream. Yeah, I wouldn't. Definitely not PC games for stream. I've corrupted Oddworld New and Tasty for PC, and Stardew Valley. And both, while they corrupted off-stream okay, and I was like, maybe they're stream material, they corrupted terrible for the stream. Like, they were not fun to play. And I don't think I got results on either of those streams. I actually should have just privatized them because I don't think they're that good of videos. They're still on YouTube, but I don't like them. But yeah, older systems, they're a little bit easier. They have a lot of tools available. There's also a lot of variations. Like this is the real-time, this is the Windows glitch harvester. There's also the real-time corruptor. There's Vine Corrupt. There's the Vine Sauce Ron corruptor. I can't English tonight. I apologize. English is my fourth language, so I have a lot of trouble. I still don't know what the other three are, but you know, as you do. So, got this one all set. Now we can reroll this one. And now we can change the body freakouts. To a degree. They actually look kind of the same. Ah, never mind. I spoke too soon. They look like when you blow up a balloon and you just let the air out and it flicks all around the room. That's what's going on here. Here we are, not too shabby. Can we control our character? That is the question. Can we walk around? Perfection, exactly. Just perfection. And we can control the wily balloon. I wonder if there's a way to emulate a cartridge tilting effect with disc-based games. Ooh, that's a good question. I think there is, yeah, because, I mean, cartridge tilting, all you really are doing in that case is it's missing some of the data, so you're tilting it. Well, actually, no, I don't know cartridge tilting that much, because it's actually, you're taking off start of the cartridge and it's not making all the connections fully. So that's just random data, essentially. So I imagine you could emulate that. I don't know how you would get those very specific areas and how effective it would be, but I think I've heard of other people doing that. I think Zero Ducks Given gave that a try. It would be a very cool experiment, though, to try to write that out. Anyways, balloons, no mass. More balloons. This is one I was kind of looking for, where it's not too subtle like the original one we had, but also not too insane like the blue one. They're just kind of rolling around in place. Our character is a contortionist, and that's how we got into the city of only contortionists. It's a very exclusive city, and you need to apply months in advance, but he's very glad to be put in. That's more like getting... Gotcha. I like the roll, too. You have to roll around. That's the only way to get around in this city. Eventually, you'll build up the calluses on your neck in order to actually roll around on concrete. It'll just take a couple months. This house is sadly empty. Oh, and it freaks out, too! And it keeps freaking out for a couple seconds, and then it goes back to normal. Intriguing stuff. I'm off to catch my nightly news. Peace off. Hey, have a great one. Cornet? I hope I pronounced that right. Have a great night. Combats. Hope you have a great one. Enjoy your nightly news. Rolling around at the I can't sing the song. Rolling around at the speed of sound. I'm not gonna try it. I know I can't hit those notes. I wish I could, but I can't. That Gyroid is in a mood. He's just angry. He's angry and confused at why we're talking to him. He knows he's empty. Try it, do it. I tried it a little bit. I tried the first couple lyrics and then I noticed my voice wasn't there, so I can't do it. I lose my shit when people talk to me too. Yeah, you just go all wacky, waveable, inflating, arm flailing troop man. I can't say that. But it was such a good try. Oh, I appreciate that. I am no singer. You will not see me on Twitch Sings. Maybe without the camera. I'll try it without the camera. Which is, by the way, if anyone's interested, Twitch Sings now is free to download for anyone that... I know I had a lot of people that were like, I wish I could get into the beta, and then it actually came out, and they're like, I'm not actually gonna do that. I just want to lie and say I want to be in the beta. I'm like, come on, put your money where your mouth is. Go give it a try. Twitch Corrupt Games channel when? Oh, that'd be fun. Ooh, that'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. I'm gonna write that idea down. I'm gonna give you credit to that. Twitch Corrupt Games. Ooh, I like that idea. That's a good one. Twitch Corrupt Games, suggested by Charlock. Because I wonder how difficult that would be. You have to deal with, of course, all the chat commands and all that various stuff. Inputs to specific bytes. You could input like maybe a specific starting address or intensity. Although I feel like the intensity would always be super high. Also, listen to that music. It's a little quiet, but it starts off kind of weird. I upped the volume. A little bit. Let me drop it down. Back down. What is the snowflake? Oh yeah, charity event. I got one too! Woo, charity event! Chat inputs. Oh, I read that. In a large enough community, it could get pretty interesting. Maybe, like, this might be weird, but what if they just wrote, like, one memory rights? So, like, just one. That's it. The people that are, like, know a little bit about the ROM might look up the mapping for that game and try to get specific targeted areas. Other people might just try to corrupt randomly. And then maybe after, like, every 20 minutes, it resets. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. Oh, I see. That's cool. Yay, snowflakes! Woo! That's what I said. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just copying what you said, didn't I? Well, it's a nice idea, Charlock. I do like that. That might be a summer project. Ooh, got like a nice shadow effects going on. Silhouettes. Along with the terrible audio, of course. You gotta have both. Let's go and skip through all this. Here we are. Oh yeah. In Purgatory. Purgatory itself. How you doing, Gyroid? This house, he doesn't even have a name. The poor guy. Like that one, I like this one. Limbo Crossing. Also, I like every once in a while it freaks out when it tries to do something. Like we tried opening the door and it just, I don't know what happened with the sound, but like turn on and off repeatedly, if that makes sense. It's the best way I can describe it. Hey, Misfits! Did I not go through? Thank you for the host. Shoot, I don't know why that didn't go to your alert. Well, thank you for the host, Misfits. That might be an auto host. Maybe that's why that's happening. Shoot. Well, anyways, if you're there, Misfits, I appreciate it. Yo, what's up, Misfits? We got just Tom Nook freaking out, so in this case, our character's okay. He should probably walk over there and help him, but what he's gonna do, because he's antisocial, is he's gonna walk away and pretend you didn't see it. Yeah, we're not good people. Just walk away. If you ignore it long enough, it isn't there anymore. Just got done with that. Oh yeah, no worries. What's going on, Misfits? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the hosts as well. I appreciate it. So for some reason, the alert didn't go through. I think maybe Slobs switched their default host number to be above 1, which I usually have it set to 1 because I could care less if you host me. I mean, I would love if people, if they do host me. Shoot, I misphrased myself. I love when people host me. I could care less if it's only 1 viewer is what I'm trying to say. Check, I tried whispering is something in Discord but didn't go through. Yeah, I can't receive Discord whispers. You gotta either send it via Filthy Casuals or the Oddbrew Discord. I don't accept chat messages due to a problem I had recently with a Minecraft server, but I won't go into that. Chat box in games looks like clouds. Oh, did I miss that? Shoot. I think I went through. But I remember it did look a little bit like clouds. I agree with you on that. Hear that drum? I like it. Oh, I don't want to promote my Discord and other channels. I figured I'd just send it to you in a whisper. Oh, okay, gotcha. Send it to me. Do I have Twitch whispers enabled? I don't know if I do. I see how that's a problem. Here, let me whisper you. Misfits. Hi. Oh no, it's just gonna block me. I don't want to disable that setting though. Feel free to put it in general and say text said to put this here. That works for me. Oh, that one's not a bad one. So, our horns are cut. It looks like. It's just a slight shading effect. Audio isn't right. We're also frozen in place. We're not moving. We don't have an idle animation. In general, Nobber, yeah. General Nobber. Why does the main character have horns in the first place? That's a good question. I don't know why that is. Maybe to indicate it's a boy, because you chose a boy. I don't know what the girl character has. I always choose boys. Good question though, I have no clue why. What do you say? Let's stop corrupting this point. So let's choose our house, finally. The girl has horns too? I don't know why then. Boys in Animal Crossing always have horns. Maybe it has like some significance in terms of like moving to a new place, being new. Like I know the developer was all about that. I always choose the house on the right. Just a preference, I don't know why. I like it. Great. Great. Furniture, great. Awesome. This is gonna take a while, I apologize. We're gonna, I think, go to Tom Nook's shop. He's gonna have us plant some stuff, but we're not gonna plant some stuff. Really don't like lose my character, never did. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I mean, we could load it up and prove it. But I'm getting close to the end of my stream. Can I send it to you on here? I'm always a bit worried. It seems like I'm promoting unintentionally. I mean, yeah, just you can put it in chat, that's fine. Did I get all that? Oh, that's what we were messing up before. I said no thanks before. No, wait! Ah, I said tell me again. No, I confused it. Okay, got that. So much text. I'm glad we have turbo. God, I can imagine going through this without turbo. 1,900. Oh, I can't math tonight. 19,000 bells. Yep, part-time. Great. Awesome. A5. Yep, I have disabled whispers as well. I had a very frustrating experience with some other individuals that were whispering and DMing, so I stamped that right out. I'm not bothering with it anymore. You said A5. I forget what the map is. Map. Probably should stop turboing. Is that why we're going so fast? Yeah, I'm hitting tab, which just ups the clock speed. So that's why I'm going super fast. I know there's a map. I don't know if I bound that key though. I don't think I did. So we gotta go figure out where it is. Very enjoyably. Ah, we found it right away. Great. We're gonna make a save states. Oh, look how angry he looks. What an angry Tanuki. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you had a good Easter. I had an alright Easter. I don't really celebrate. I just did homework. I mean, I haven't been streaming too often. This entire quarter for me at university is extremely busy, extremely stressful, very difficult work, very rewarding work, so I enjoy it. But the streams have had to take a little bit of a cut because of that, so they're a little less frequent, but you know how it is. Alright, you eat like kings, that's good to hear. Hell yeah. Gotta eat like a king. On most holidays. I mean, shoot. Christmas you gotta eat like crazy, Thanksgiving you gotta eat like crazy. If I had to pick a favorite holiday, it'd be Halloween, because I like candy, and I usually eat a lot of it, either on the day of or the day after. Turkey dressing inside, gotcha. Alright, so we got a new save state set. I'm going to target that within my glitch harvester. There we go. And now we're going to corrupt Tom Nook's shop, which we'll see how that goes. We broke the emulator. Didn't go well. Let's restart that. Alright. In this one, for a second we weren't there, but then we phased into existence. We have a lopsided face? No, Tom Nook has a lopsided face. We just have one eye. I have tried corrupting Pokemon Stadium. I actually talked about that a little bit before, about half an hour to 45 minutes ago. It is the worst game I've tried corrupting. It does not corrupt well. In fact, I think that is the only stream right after I finished streaming, I just deleted it. It was that bad. It was frustrating how bad it was. The real-time corrupter is having a new Pokemon, or a new GameCube support, so I'll be playing possibly Pokemon Stadium on there. I'll see how it corrupts, but yeah, we'll see. Lopsided face. No face. Seeing if we can shift where the face is located. It looks like we can to a degree. A lot of reloads though for it. Let's exit this out. I still remember our Monsters Wrestling guy. We were just talking about that earlier. Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, God. The wrestling game was fantastic. That was a great suggestion. We should do another wrestling game in the future. If I have a chance, I will. It's definitely on the list. I have that on my list for possible games to corrupt. Unfortunately, just in terms of corrupting, I haven't had a whole lot of time. I've been doing Oblivion more than anything because that's super easy to set up the stream for. I don't have to worry about it too much. There's not a lot of pre-work for that. But corruption streams, I need at least an hour before the stream just to get everything ready. And sometimes I just don't have that kind of time. I love Halloween too, but my favorite is Thanksgiving. That's cool. Alright. Thanksgiving, I can understand that. Like, it's a good holiday. It's a homey holiday. Can't do better than watching the Padres and PJs grazing all day and eating tons of turkey and covered foods for a dinner with the family. That does sound very homey. I like that a lot. Like, if you got family to go back to, or if you got family back home, Thanksgiving is like the ideal holiday, if you're like a family kind of person. So, very cool. I'm glad you enjoy it. There's an SNES game I came across on a retro stream on Saturday that I fell in love with. Have you ever heard of Ninja Warriors? I have, but I don't know much about it. Let me Google it. Ninja Warriors. Images. Oh, that's also a show. SNES. Yeah, I know I've heard of it. I think I've seen a bit of it too. Yeah, you got to play it though. You like it though? Or you said you fell in love with it. Maybe I'll have to check that out. It's a fighting game. Also, reroll this one, mess with the textures in the shop. It's a beat 'em up. I might play that off stream, because usually beat 'em ups don't corrupt too well. For what I found. Even Smash, which is like a big beat 'em up, like the beat 'em up for characters, for modern. That one I struggled to stream because it was just, they don't usually corrupt too well. You played it too and you liked it? Alright. It will be an off-stream kind of thing, I think. Usually I don't do a lot of Let's Plays for retro. Maybe I should. I should probably pick that up. I mean, that'd also be easy to stream. I like Let's Plays, though, for the big RPGs. Thus far, I've been liking them. I've done Subnautica, Oblivion. I plan on doing Morrowind. What was my in-between, though? I wanted to do, I was just talking to Wasabi about it. I can't remember. I have to think about it for a sec. But, oh, I was gonna do Fallout New Vegas. I was considering. Now I'm kind of iffy about it. I haven't actually played all the way through the New Vegas series, or the New Vegas game. One of my very first streams on this channel ever was Fallout New Vegas, and it was on my very bad Lenovo with absolutely no graphics card or anything like that, terrible dedicated graphics. And I started what I called low-tech runs, because my name was Tech, and it was just playing the game on the lowest possible hardware and making the game look as bad as possible. Like, I made the characters look like potatoes. I made every single possible what would you call it, game modification to make it look just bad. Like, remove particle effects if they have to be in there, make them just big boxes so they don't actually have to render anything. Stuff like that. And I did that for that, Fallout New Vegas and Skyrim. I played a lot of New Vegas at the time. I don't know if I got my fill in. I don't know if I'll do that for a stream. And I'm also excited to do Morrowind, so maybe I'll switch over to that. I'm still on the fence about which one I want to do. Nintendo. Oh, we broke the corruptor. Ooh, that's not good. Uncorrupting, it says. It doesn't have anything to uncorrupt, though. So I think, just because it's getting around 11:20-ish, I think I have to call it here in a few. Let me see. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to call it, unfortunately, because I already got out of bed. But I'm gonna transition scenes here and talk for a little bit, so stick around. Don't you worry. I'm not taking off just yet. Tom Nook disappeared on that one. It's too bad I can't pull it back. Like, it is broken. You'd have to restart the whole emulator. So let me close that out. Glad you caught me for a bit. I'm glad you stopped by for a bit. Yeah, we haven't chatted in a little bit. And usually, so my streams are around this time for the next 7 weeks. They're gonna be later in the evening, and then if I have a day off and I have finished my schoolwork, it will be from like midnight to 3 o'clock, 3 a.m., or that'd be an hour from now to 3 hours from now, depending on your time zone. So that's kind of my deal, my timing at the moment. Anyways, let's close this out. As it slowly closes out. Oh, it's gonna freak out because I have the the Windows process hooker that keeps trying to reopen it. Let me transition here. Should I have my face? Oh no, not upper. Whoops. Should I have my face on this one? Video capture device. It looks like I tried putting it here, but then I didn't use it. Yeah, let me play some music. There's some Oblivion music. And I don't know whether I'm gonna just start putting. No, I don't think I'm gonna start putting my face here. This is my AFK stream. It's all. Oh, also, you see part of my desk because it's not cut out properly. Get out of here, desk. Also, this is on the wrong side. Oh, now I'm just moving everything around. I'm just breaking everything. Let me. Whoop, proper side. There we go. And make that super tiny. Should I put myself on the end card? No, I usually just talk on the end card. I don't show my face. Alright, bye people with the camera. I'm not gonna show my face. Anyways, so thank you for everyone that was able to stop by. Let me pull up my activity log, because I should pull everything from there. Whoop, where is that? Activity feed. So starting off from the very top, thank you so much, Tragic Twisted Chaos, for the raid, or the raid of 17 people. I appreciate you so much. And everyone that was able to stop by and stick around from Tragic's raid, I appreciate each and every one of you. You're all awesome. This is what I try to do on my normal streams. However, I've been doing a lot more Oblivion lately. Coming this summer, I'll be doing these almost daily if I can, so keep an eye out for that. And also, thank you Noah's Mad and Trial Orc for the follows. Yeah. We're gonna find someone to host in here in a few minutes, so stick around for that as well. I don't know when my next stream will be. I would like it to be tomorrow evening, but it depends. Actually, no, it will not be tomorrow evening, sadly. Tomorrow evening I have my night class, so I have that, followed by immediately a very large assignment, so I'll be working on that the entire time. But let's go find someone to host. Mr. Jub Jub is streaming, but he hasn't started up yet, so we're gonna chat for a couple minutes until he does start up, and then we're gonna switch over to him. Let me know when you do the KK music corruptions. I will. So I do have a YouTube channel, and I think it depends if I do them on stream or off stream. It would probably be funnier to do them on stream, but then I have to do all the cutting and editing and all that fun stuff. So I might do them off stream and then upload them to YouTube afterwards. But I'll definitely let you know if I spot ya, whether I've done them or not. It might not be for quite a while, sadly. What else do I have to talk about? I don't know how long Jub usually takes. He's about 8 minutes in, so he'll probably start up here in a second. I'm gonna keep saying sadly. If you guys are interested, I also host a Minecraft server if you're into that kind of thing. Also, I guess I can transition here. This is very outdated, but I also am part of a stream team called Odd Brew. Currently, there's no members of that group that's streaming, sadly, but Did that just freeze? What's going on there? Oh, I probably moved where the file was. Oh, that looks terrible. All right, we're not gonna do that. Never mind. I had a starfield in the background, but it was a corrupted starfield, so it was a GIF image, and I had corrupted that GIF image to sort of jump around and break. But sadly, it doesn't look quite right anymore. I think I moved where the directory was. I'm hanging out in Popo's chat. He was playing Jet Set Radio last night. I watched it. He was playing Jet Set Radio! No way! Jet Set Radio is one of my favorite games. If it's outside of the Oddworld series, Jet Set Radio, hands down, one of my favorite. I tried corrupting Jet Set Radio for the Xbox, but that was not so possible because Xbox corruptions are very finicky. Dreamcast, however, would be very, very interesting. I have not gone through that route yet, and I'd like to. So possibly in the future. Yes, I would like to, though. I love Jet Set Radio. Most of my beginning card music comes from Jet Set Radio. Popo's not on, sadly, though. I wish I could host... I wish Popo was on. I love that guy. But we're gonna host Mr. Jub, who is equally as awesome. So we're gonna, I think, rate him. Yeah, there we go. So he's gonna be playing some VR chat, so hopefully you enjoy him. If you haven't seen Mr. Jub before, you're in for a treat, I will tell you that. He is an awesome dude, go tell him I said hi. What is Odd Brew? Is that Filthy Casuals? No, it's a, Filthy Casuals is awesome too. So there's the Filthy, oh, that's my friend code. He's doing VR chat. So Filthy Casuals is the Discord that I'm a part of. Filthy Casuals is a gaming community, but I'm part of a stream team called Odd Brew, which is, oh, it's just especially support Discord for me, which is associated with Wasabi Tonic, another fellow streamer. I'm great friends with Wasabi Tonic. Bullshit Plays and Minister Falcor are all members of that stream team, and we all stream some odd stuff. If I tell you what. Anyways, I'm gonna pop this right over. Thank you once again to everyone. I hope you have a very odd night. That's a weird ending. Hope you have a wonderful night.